Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends Series Avengers 60th Anniversary Beyond Earth's Mightiest Thor vs. the Destroyer 2-pack. Let's get into it! Let's begin our battle with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, nice stark white with some lines on it and some cat here. I don't know how that keeps getting on here. Avengers 60 Years of Earth's Mightiest. Then we move along to the front. Thor versus Marvel's Destroyer. Marvel Legends Series. And then we have the nice probably digital render of both figures, and then there's some comic artwork in the background that looks more like an explosion or blast, something of that effect. Then we have 4 and up. Warning, don't stick it in any pie hole, that kind of stuff. Marvel Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest, plastic free packaging except tape and glue, it's a secret. And Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, main China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode, includes 2 figure accessories, recycled print, the GameStop barcode, and just in case you forgot, plastic free packaging, except tape and glue, because that's a secret. And then some recycled stuff. On this side, Marvel Legends Series and some colored lines behind them. Nice digital renders of the figures, and then there's some more of those colored lines, and then some white. On the other side, there's artwork of Thor and the Destroyer, and again, some of those lines, and Marvel Legends Series. On the back, Marvel Legends Series, rainbow lines. Thor versus Marvel's Destroyer, and then it shows Thor comes with 1 extra hand and an extra head, and the Destroyer comes with 2 extra hands. And then those look like nice digital renders of the figures. Attention! Don't stick it in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Achtung, don't stick it in any other language pie hole if it doesn't belong there. And don't give it to babies, small fine, legalese, made in China print, Marvel print, Hasbro print, and that, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Now let's take a look at the figures and their accessories. And here's handy dandy tweezers, but I don't think we're going to need them for this. Maybe for the Thor head, so we'll use them, then we'll get them out of the way. And here we go, a nice bearded Thor head, very Walt Simonson looking, in my opinion, the way that the helmet wings are, and it just looks fantastic. And this kind of throws back to after Thor had a fight with Hela, and Hela like messed his face up, so he grew a beard to cover up that scarring and damage until it could heal. And look at those blue eyes in there. And like I said, this looks very Walt Simonson to me, and it's really just an awesome head. I wouldn't say so much that it goes with this Thor. It probably goes better with the 80th anniversary Thor, although I'm not sure the skin tones will match up because he didn't wear those boots without that mask. So, very, very cool head. And of course, here we have Mjolnir that we've been getting ever since the 80th anniversary Thor. I don't think it was before that, but here's this side has the inscription. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. And then, you know, it's got some nice rocky details on it, and some nice details here, and the thong. Yeah, not that kind of thong. And then he comes with one extra hand, which is the fist, nicely molded. We have seen this before, molded in color, nice details in the sculpt. Then, as far as Destroyer's accessories go, he comes with one C-grip hand on an in and out hinge, and that Thor fist was on an in and out hinge in case I forgot to mention it. So here is that, and very spiky and lots of details, and it is molded in that silver plastic because you can see the swirls and the twirls, and it's just very nicely sculpted, I have to say. They really are. Now, let's move Destroyer out of the way for just a minute, and we'll cover Thor. It's really nothing new. This is like the third time we've seen most of this body. The 80th Thor, Ragnarok, and now this Thor, the Eric Masterson Thor. So everything, from the knees up is, from the knees to the neck is the same. Same cape, same arms, even same deco, same sculpt. And, the head sculpt is new, at least for the most part. The helmet might be reuse, and then they just glued the mask onto it. I'm not sure. But he's got the nice beard. His hair flows okay there. Nice wings on the helmet. Helmet looks good. Mask looks good. Then we've got these silver paint apps. This, I think, is all painted. The black is painted, the silver is painted, and then it's molded in this flesh tone. Just like the arms all molded in the flesh tone up to the wristbands, which are painted. Probably, are they separate? Yes, they actually are separate. I forgot that. Those are separate pieces. And then the hands, of course, molded in color as well. And the belt painted a nice gold that goes good with the silver discs here. However, I would have liked for the boots to actually have been painted as well, the same color as gold, so that they matched up. But alas, forsooth, they did not do that. So again, nice sculpt on the cape. If you like plastic capes, it's okay. I really would like, I want to find me a really good wired cloth cape for Thor, the 80th Thor, Eric Masterson Thor, and Ragnarok. That, it's not going to break the bank at $30 a pop. So, and then the gold for the belt does go around the back. Other than that, not really a whole lot going on the back. This, of course, I think is painted, or is it an overlay? No, it's painted. So that's all paint, I think. Let's take a look at his articulation. Because of the hair, he really doesn't look up any. He can look down slightly. He doesn't really have any chicken neck. He does have a little bit of waggle. Because of the hair, he can only turn his head slightly either way. No full exorcist. At the shoulder, arm raises up approximately 90 degrees. And if you go around the cape, it will get a full 360 degree rotation. I really would have liked to have seen them added a butterfly joint on this mold by now, but Alas, forsooth, it did not happen. 360 degrees of rotation at the upper bicep. Double hinged pinned elbow, and I would like to see this go to pinless if they're going to continue using this body. Then 360 degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and this hand has up and down hinge for Mjolnir. Now there's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and it gives you a little bit of hula going on there. He can lean left and right. He can lean back that far and forward that far. So, I mean, there's a little bit there. It's not a whole lot. And it will do a full 360 degree rotation there. However, you don't have to do it there because he does actually have a waist cut as well right below the belt, and it will rotate a full 360 degrees. At the hips, can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward that far, and that's with just a tad bit of outswing. And kicking back maybe a step. Cut at the upper thigh gives you full 360 degrees worth of rotation. Double hinged pin knee. Same comment with the knee as the elbow. If they're going to continue using this mold, they need to go ahead and update the elbows and the knees, because those pinless are much stronger than the pinned knees, and they don't warp and bend nearly as bad. So, but anyway, he gets that much bend, and of course this is all a new piece, and this piece is glued onto it, I'm sure. And then let's see, right here at the mid upper shin, there is another 360 degree rotation, and at the ankles tilts down that far, up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now I think these are the same feet as the 80th Thor. They're just painted. They're not painted, rather. So anyway, there's Thor. We'll get him out of the way. Now let's take a look at the real prize of this pack, which is the Destroyer. And looking at the head, nice paint for the eyes. Most everything is just molded in this silver plastic, and it does look great. There's lots of molded detail in here. All these spikes and all these bands, and down here at the feet. I mean, it's just a really great looking figure. The only thing that would have made it better was if they could find a way to make the swirly plastic look more like it was painted. And this part might be painted. It's hard to tell. It does have some dry brush work on it though. You can see some right here and around here. And I'm not really seeing a whole lot of it, but there's some around there. And it's basically because he's just so old. But one feature that he doesn't have that I really wish they would have figured a way to incorporate was putting some kind of hinge in here where this piece could fold down like it does in the comic books to denote when he's fixing to use that disintegrator beam. But they didn't. I guess they're saving that for the next release. Let's move that up a little bit. Now, the arm pads here, or shoulder pads, I guess, are separate pieces, and they use that new system where it has a strap that goes down and then the arm pins through it so that it doesn't hinder up the articulation a whole lot. And that is pretty much it. Let's take a look at the articulation. He can look up that high. He looks down that far, and it's on a dumbbell, but the neck and the torso, it seems, are one piece. So, no chicken neck. He's got some waggle in there, though. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, the arm will rotate a full 360 degrees. And it will raise up with a little bit of effort about that far. Now, there is a cut here at the upper bicep that does give a full 360 degree rotation. A single hinge and swivel at the elbow, and it swivels around full 360 degrees, and it gives you not quite 90 degrees worth of bend. 360 degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and the other fist is in and out hinge as well. There is a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and it's on a dumbbell, and it gives you all kinds of hula. He can lean left and right. He can lean back. He can even lean forward a pretty good bit. Wow, that's really good. And also, there's a 360 degree rotation there as well, because there is no waist. So that's the only rotation for waist type movement on the figure. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees. Back about a step and a half maybe. Right here, and it's sort of hidden, not as good as the Ultron figure, but right here where the band comes around, there is a cut for a 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and I know I soaked this guy. Maybe I didn't work the knee enough. Alright, so there we go. Double hinged pinless. There we go. And there we go. So it gives you that much bend, and it's really hard with all these spikes to kind of manhandle this guy, because they're not really super sharp, but they are pointy enough that when pressure is applied, they're uncomfortable. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, so both ways pretty darn good. And then forward facing pin for rocker. So there's Destroyer. Here's Thor, and of course the way Thor uses Mjolnir, it just goes in his hand. However, Destroyer can also lift Mjolnir and use it, although I don't think it gives him the power of Thor. Well, that, my friends, does it for a look at the figures and their accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends Series Avengers 60th Anniversary Beyond Earth's Mightiest Thor versus the Destroyer 2-pack. Thor, the Eric Masterson Thor there in the front, Destroyer in the back, with the Marvel Legends Series 80th Anniversary Thor, and from the Joe Fixit Gamerverse Build-A-Figure wave, Thunderstrike. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends Series 2-pack Thor vs. Destroyer, with the Eric Masterson Thor in the front and Destroyer in the back. With our final Marvel Legends comparison, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, The Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Series Avengers 60th Anniversary Beyond Earth's Mightiest Thor vs. the Destroyer 2-pack, I have to say the real prize in this pack is the Destroyer. The Thor, of course, this is the at least third release of this, the majority of this body at least. The new parts being the head and the boots. And not that I'm saying the 80th anniversary Thor mold is a bad mold. It's not. It's a really good Thor mold. And at this point, though, I really would have liked to seen them update at least the knees and the elbows to the pinless technology. And that's really my only complaint with this pack. We get 2 Thor heads. This one, that I think of when I think of the Eric Masterson version of Thor, and there's the other one that Thor used where he grew the beard after Hela injured his face until it healed up. And I also think the first couple of times that Masterson turned into Thor, he looked like that other head with the beard, until later he went and took the costume and got it updated and had the mask added to the helmet. But this is the head that's on it now. That's who I think of when I think of the Masterson Thor. That's the look. Now, as far as the Destroyer goes, I don't have any nitpicks at all. I'm even happy with the swirly twirly in the plastic at this time. Double jointed pinless elbows. Yes, he still has the single hinge and swivel elbow that most large Marvel Legends figures have. At some point, I hope they'll update that to double hinged pinless. But I'm not holding my breath at this point. Now, I take it back. As I'm thinking about it, I do have one little issue. And it's not really an issue. It's more of a wish that... And it's not really a wish. It's something this figure should have included. Either a hinge on this piece, where it would go down like in the comic books it does when he's going to use his disintegrator beam. Or an alternate head with it down. It should have come with one or the other, and it didn't. And that's my only sore spot, I guess, with the Destroyer, is that, he basically can't use his disintegrator beam. He's not like the comic version isn't like the MCU version where the slats in the faceplate just open it up and a beam shoots out. It's not like that. But, it doesn't matter. They could have put any version of Thor with the Destroyer and it would have made sense, because each version of Thor has faced the Destroyer. Sometimes more than once. But this is a really, really great set, especially if you're a Thor fan and you've been waiting for a Masterson Thor. And, you didn't want to use Thunderstrike. You wanted to actually use Thor for stuff. Well, here is your Masterson Thor. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.